and you're watching Pro Teaches News. Ooh, is somebody talking about pros? Not that kind of pro. See you there.
Hey guys, welcome to another lesson of Pro Teaches Noob. Today I have with me Ingrid.
Hello.
And we're back to more Godzilla. Not just Godzilla, but also Tom Scioli. Last time you and I went over and we had Stephen Dox with us and we went over American Barbarian.
Oh yeah, I remember that one.
Yep, and way back we also did, I don't know if you were there for it or not, but we did the Transformers G.I. Joe way in the early day. I was
there for at least one of them because I vaguely remember something like that.
Yeah, that was the same guy who did all that. And this is a case where it's Godzilla's Monsterpiece Theater, which has him deal with stuff like the Time Machinest, Sherlock Holmes, and the Great Gatsby.
I've had at least some contact with the primary sources of two of those, at least.
And also the Big D, that's Dracula.
Oh, yes, I actually have experienced the whole entire novelization of Dracula, except I did it in a unique thing called Dracula Daily, where it would send you emails of, like, what was happening in the book of, like, the actual dates in real life, and it was such a unique way to experience it, because you would go radio silent with it on weeks for a time, like, worrying what was going to happen to the characters, and like obviously that's not the way it's supposed to be experienced, but it's really unique.
Given the format of the book, it makes sense.
Yeah, so yes, I know most of the source material, at least a little bit here, so this will be interesting to see.
Yep, so yeah, let's just
especially since most adaptations of Dracula are just wrong.
Yeah, this one might not still be it might be wrong too. Well, let's find out. But yeah. Look at him, even goofier.
Look at that big smile.
Yep. At Louisville, Kentucky, 1917. Daisy was young. Her artificial world was redolent of orchids and pleasant, cheerful snobbery and orchestras, which set the rhythm of the year, summing up the sadness and suggestiveness of my life in new tunes. Shh! Their eyes met. They started together and stared together at each other, alone in space. His heart beat faster and faster. Daisy's white face came up to his own. He knew that when he kissed this girl and forever wed his unutterable visions to her perishable breast, his mind would never romp again like the mind of God. So he waited, listening for a moment longer to the tuning fork that had been struck upon a star. Then he kissed her. At his lips' touch, she blossomed like a flower, and the incarnation was complete. All aboard! I can't hear you. What's that, Daisy? I'll wait for you, Jay. I'll wait for you. Argonne Forest, France. And it's 1918. Dear Daisy, it's not so bad here. If anything, I'd say the greatest danger is boredom. Letters for home certainly help pass the time. I haven't heard from you in a while. I'm sure you're very busy with this and that, but please remember your darling soldier boy when you have a moment. Westlake, Long Island, the roaring 20s. Have you ever been in love with someone unreachable and beyond your grasp, even though you're right there, just within sight? Charleston contest. Where's our host? To be honest, I wouldn't know the fellow if I wouldn't know the fellow if I stared him dead in the face. He throws these swell parties and never shows up. Daisy, in his blue gardens, men and girls came and went like moths among the whisperings and the champagne and the stars. What's the racket? Gatsby having one of his soirees again? Didn't you see the invitation he sent? Now that you mention it, Daisy, darling, I wanted to spare you the boredom of a tiresome evening with a self-important blowhard. Uh-oh! Do you hear that crowd war? They really love us. Don't tell me I'm out of the contest already. No. Ah! Gatsby bought that house so that Daisy would just be across the bay. Gatsby, you're going the wrong way. I need to make sure Daisy's okay. I'm coming with you. She's my cousin after all. Suit yourself, Nick, old sport. Oh, look out! Gatsby believed in the green light, the orgastic future that year by year recedes before us. It eluded us then, but that's no matter. Tomorrow we will run faster, stretch out our arms farther. Daisy! 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 Whoosh. Gatsby? What are you doing here? Tom, where's Daisy? Gatsby looked at her in the way all women want to be looked at by a man. I'm here. Whoosh! Follow me! So he beat on, bowed against the current borne, back ceaselessly into the past. Good show, Nick, my boy. Is this normal weather for Long Island? It's the strangest weather I've ever seen. Call me mad if you wish, but it's raining giant prehistoric fire-breathing lizards out there. Boulder Dash, Gatsby. The storm has scared you right out of your wits. Whoa! Preserving judgment is a matter of infinite hope. Gee whiz! Daisy! Help! Where's Daisy? I don't know. Gatsby, come back! Daisy! All I kept thinking about over and over was, you can't live forever. Daisy! So how was that for the opening?
That was fantastic.
Godzilla just interrupts Great Gatsby.
It's like, it sounds comical on paper, but in a weird way, it almost feels like it thematically gels. Like, here's this one guy waxing self-important, and then Godzilla comes in like a force of nature and absolutely smashes things to bits.
And not that though, but forces him to finally make a move that he was just too terrified to do.
Mm-hmm.
Which was just head across the water to Daisy.
Mm-hmm.
Not quite an eternity later, Thomas Edison! You're the only person who would get me to set foot in New Jersey. So you've come to me with what essentially amounts to a fish story. I don't think fish is the word for what I saw out there. It was biblical. I need new devices, contraptions that can generate sound and light an ample amount to stun and kill, and if necessary, a heavily armored giant sea creature. He had one of those rare smiles with the quality of eternal reassurance in it that you may come across 4 or 5 times in life. It faced, or seemed to face, the whole external world for an instant, and then concentrated on you with an irresistible prejudice in your favor. It understood, it understood you just as far as you wanted to be understood, believed in you as you would like to be believed in yourself. I've grown accustomed to indulging the whims of eccentric financiers. If I could take my proposal elsewhere, I have other appointments scheduled for today. Come on, Gatsby, this is Thomas Edison after all. As long as you're willing and able to fund this project, you have my attention. But the level of funding this is going to require is the sort of endeavor that is usually pursued by nation and government coalitions. Who do you think gives Uncle Sam his allowance? Ah! So we drove on towards death through the cooling twilight. Dr. T.J. Eckelberg. Is that Tom's car? Tom, it's your fault. Oh, Tom, you're drunk. Why are you taking the side of your cousin's murderer? See here, oh, Tom, old boy. Gatsby is doing something about it. I've got an army of private detectives searching for Daisy. There's still hope that she's out there somewhere. And what about the beast that did this? The one that took her away? I'm going to fix everything just the way it was before. Manhattan. The city seen from the Queensboro Bridge is always the same. And always the city seen for the first time in its first wild promise of all the mystery and beauty of the world. Anything can happen now that we've slid over this bridge. Anything at all. Look out! There was only the pursuit, the pursuing the busy and the tired. I think that aren't these all quotes from Gatsby?
I wouldn't be surprised if they were, but it's been long enough that I read it.
I don't remember either.
I gotta say, I really like the choice of colors they've been using throughout all of this. It perfectly matches the kind of era that the Great Gatsby itself was written in.
Yep. Get to the side! Oh, whoa! What a mouth on that thing! The walls! Oh no! The teeth! Arrgh! Ooh! High over the city, a line of yellow teeth must have contributed their share of inhuman terror to the casual watcher in the streets. And I, Nick Carraway, was he too looking up and wondering. I was within and without, simultaneously enchanted and repelled by the inexhaustible variety of life. Golly, oh look, a serpent's tooth!
Ooh, nice catch.
Yep. Yay! No amount of fire or freshness can challenge what a man will store up in his ghastly heart. The thing to do is forget about the heat. You make it 10 times worse by crabbing about it. Aim at the bees! Yeah, like that's gonna do anything. Water hose against Godzilla! All I kept thinking about over and over was, you can't live forever. You can't live forever. Here, kitty kitty. Come on, you need to get out of here. I hear it. It's coming. Oh, cat jumps in his arms. For a transitory, enchanted moment, I held my breath in the presence of this monster, compelled into aesthetic contemplation I neither understood nor desired, face to face for the first time with something commensurate to my capacity for wonder. So I drove away and left him standing there in the moonlight watching over nothing. There was a change in the beast that was confounding. It literally glowed without a word or a gesture of exultation. Blue hellfire radiated from it and filled the little streets. When you got determination and a great big pile of money, anything is possible. Jay Gatsby and the G-Force! And then Gatsby Force! Fire! G-Force! About face! G-Force! Fire! Fire! It's on the run! Nick O'Sport. Of all the nights to make a trip into the city, medic! A new world, material without being real, where poor and ghosts, breathing dreams like air, drifted fortuitously about, like that ashen, fantastic figure gliding away through the amorphous night. Godzilla wasn't beaten. It merely moved on. Gatsby had set his mind to destroy the beast, following it to the ends of the earth if need be. Iceberg! Not so fast! The iceberg is moving! That's no iceberg. How do you know? For one thing, it's got something I've never seen on an iceberg. Eyes! Oh! Wait, is that supposed to be the Titanic? What? You found her? She washed up on the beach. She couldn't even remember her name. Daisy! Daisy spoke with the kind of voice that the ear follows up and down, as if each speech is an arrangement of notes that will never be played again. She had an excitement in her voice that men who had cared for her found difficult to forget. Tom? No, I'm not Tom. Ipswich, England. Sherlock Holmes. The game's afoot. Is afoot. Ha! The game is afoot while standing in a foot. London, in 221B Baker Street. You're exactly as I imagined from your press notices, right down to the magnifying glass. I need this hand glass to read. My eyes are failing me, but otherwise my regime of homegrown royal jellies keeps me in tip-top shape. Thank you for taking this appointment with me. I'm familiar with the disaster in New York. I suspect the creature responsible has made his way across the Atlantic, and an attack on London may be imminent. I can help. My G-Force is anchored in international water. I have no jurisdiction here, but I know you are a confidant of the king. I was hoping you could broker a deal. My dear departed brother was the one with government connections. Minecraft, but my celebrity has increased somewhat in my golden years, granting me certain access and privileges. G-Force, you say, short for Gatsby. You've named your private army after yourself? Well, I had to name it something. Your Gatsby Force isn't up to the task. Your technology is formidable, but his conventional war surplus, it's formidable, but his conventional war surplus. You'll need something decidedly unconventional. I couldn't agree more. We're working with Edison on advanced munition, but progress is slow. Mr. Edison is a publicity-hungry halfwit. As a Michiganer, I think he's half right. When you know the truth about Edison, he wasn't the greatest guy.
Yeah, no, he stole a lot of people's work.
Yep. This effort will require an international coalition of the world's finest minds, not a gang of Yank capitalists. Take this. Paris, France. Ooh! Bonne vie aboard! I have to say, you look quite fit for a dead man. Jules Verne, cyborg! Let's see about that, Jules Verne. And then look, they're on the Nautilus.
Ah!
Let's report de ma mort some trace exaggerated. The reports of my death have been greatly exaggerated. What are you sketching there? Jay Schuss determined to place my finale finesse and ideas on paper before the Gila de Vere falls. Hey, this is just what my doctor ordered, Monsieur Verne. These are not for you. I have no desire to see mice inventions used for gruyere and destruction. There has been enough of that. That's strike two. Oh, London, England. Oh, the chims of old Big Ben always warrants my art. It's Bert from Mary Poppins. Uh-oh. Life is infinitely stranger than anything which the mind of man could invent. Wouldn't you say, my dear Watson? Agreed, Mr. Holmes. And Carfax Abbey, North London. Master, come quickly. London has become interesting.
Oh!
Yep. Victor Yates. Oh! London in ruins after monster attack. Care to read it? Thank you, no. I've read it 30 times already. And the Time Machine. I'm too late already. Holmes, Gatsby, I've come back to stop the devastation of London. Used the last bit of fuel for my sputtering time machine to come back before it happened. And now I'm stranded in this strange era. Have we met, old boy? I came from the future. I've seen it all. Forget your plan. It's only going to make matters worse. Much worse. Destruction on a global scale, the likes of which mankind has never known. I thought I could repeat the past and do things differently, but it's impossible. It can't be done. Can't repeat the past? Why, of course you can. And that's just the first issue.
Woo!
So how's that for a start?
I think it's really strong. This definitely feels like it has the vibe of let's take a bunch of stuff in the public domain and make something interesting out of it in the best way.
But it does bounce around like crazy.
Yeah, it does. But it's charming.
It is. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying it's just bouncing around. And look at this one. Jules Verne Cyborg. All of them on there. Which is better, this or this?
I like that one better.
Wait, which one? This one?
The other one.
Oh, the main
This
cover. Yep. Portsmouth, the southernmost tip of England. Careful with that. There's only one in existence. A Mazer Ray. You know, from the actual Godzilla show movies.
Oh, yeah. That's
Amazing.
a blast from the past.
Yep. Thank you, Watson. I'd hate to take a tumble in my advanced age. Are we ready, Jules? The rendezvous is complete. We can embark on the voyage. Jay, wait! You can't leave without us. So you did get my letter. I told Tom that we absolutely must join you on your expedition, just as we were all together at the beginning. All except for Nick. So Nick died, it looks like it, when he crashed his car.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Give my regards to the old gang in East Egg, Tom. Do you think I'd let my wife go on this full misadventure without me? Tom worries too much, but I told him I need to be here for this and for all that we lost. This is where it was last spotted. This is where we predict the beast will strike next. How can you be so sure that's where it'll be? And I've been to the future. To me, all this is history. The fluid nature of time muddies the waters, though. Once you've eliminated the impossible, wah! Daisy! No need to make quite such a fuss. Post to combat! What's that? Battle stations! Up! There, that image! You'll be safe up here. There's a sea thief out there. Don't waste time tending to me. Gosh, you're the whole reason for this whole enterprise. Daisy is right, Gatsby. Report to your post. Arrgh! Arrgh! Mustache! The fact that even now, the two are still at odds. Because remember, that was the whole point he ever did anything, was to try and win her back. Because she didn't wait. I gotta ask, is that entitlement on Gatsby's part, or is it a case where he just can never truly love anyone else?
Probably a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B.
Yeah. Are the torpedoes ready? Momentarily. You have a name for that thing? You called it Godzilla. Torpedoes ready. Fire! Any damage? I think it hurt us more. It's the next round of torpedoes ready. Full reverse! I need those torpedoes. There's a series of undersea caves nearby. Torpedoes ready, sir. Fire! Oh! Surely it must be dead. You don't know Godzilla as I do. The best you could do is give it a brief moment of annoyance. There! That was a close one. We were caught off guard. Our secret weapon isn't quite ready, so we wait in uncharted water, in another world. Where have you been? Where have you taken us, Gatsby? I demand to know. Do you even have a plan? Or are you leading us down a dead end? Are you quite finished? We're all going to die in the belly of that great beast or in the belly of this metal one. Nobody forced you to come here. The earliest opportunity will find you a port. Wouldn't that just sit you? Your piggishness has gotten the better of you. Gatsby's log, the English Channel. I found my friend Nick's manuscript telling the story of his life. By extension, the story. Oh, if I remember right, Nick is who the reader is supposed to be.
Oh, right, that would make sense.
And by extension, the story of his friends and family, Daisy, Tom, and even me, down to the most heartbreaking detail. I've decided as a tribute to my good friend to complete his work, to tell the story of this moment in time, this turning point of history. On our monster hunting expedition, we secured the services of an author and inventor, Jules Verne. He's been key in helping shore up against destruction. According to his designs, Paris has been made into a fortress for the 20th century, employing advanced technology that could only come from his prodigious imagination. The Time Machinest, who refused to share his name for reasons known only to him, is a little harder to understand. He's had experience with Godzilla. That much is obvious. The haunted, shell-shocked look in his eyes speaks volume. He has insight, but seems like he might be quite mad. And then there's the legendary Sherlock Holmes and his niece and attending physician, Dr. Watson. Between Holmes and Verne, the age of our G-Force team is such that I fear we could lose an important part of our brain trust at any moment to the Grim Reaper. Daisy's husband, Tom Buchanan, insists on tagging along. Daisy seems to be almost completely recovered from her brush with death. I embarked on this whole endeavor in her name, and as long as she's here, I can accomplish anything. Psst, Jay, Daisy, I'm glad I caught you alone. We could finally catch up. How are you doing? Are you happy? Did you figure things out? What? Me? I'm a mess. What about you? You occasionally show up as a character in my dreams. Ham and strangled eggs for breakfast? Let's not be too loud. I don't want to wake Tom. This hasn't been an unexpected delight. Nothing like being stuck underwater to let two old friends catch up. Two old friends? There's a lot of water under that bridge. We had something. It wasn't what either of us thought it was, but it wasn't nothing. That was so long ago. I just don't remember. So I've been meaning to ask you, what is that thing anyway? Oh, this symbol? It's salesmanship. I guess it helps people take you seriously. It looks official. There's a lot of things I'd like to talk to you about. I missed you. Saying goodbye to you was the hardest thing I've ever done. I bought this for you all those years ago. I've been holding on to it. What am I supposed to do with this? You think I want this? I don't want this. I'm sorry I made this about me. We could have been glorious and subliminally unhappy unhappy together. Not the vague malaise of most couples, but a cataclysmic, sublime, explosive unhappiness, a beautiful misery. Auga, auga, auga. No, you stay. Excuse me? This is the version of the hydraulics that helped me. It's not too late to go back. Nonsense. Jeepers creepers. We've been found. And there's still work to be done. Cut as your life depends on it. Because it does. Uh-oh. He found them. Can you hear me, Jules? An actioner. Ooh, look at that. The maser cannon was in the front.
Ooh.
Increase power. Gatsby, get my wife out of there, you noxious, right-rich vulgarian. De plus. That was some exit. You were wonderful out there. And you were irresponsible. How did a fool like you get so far in life? Tom, your wife did something completely remarkable. I suggest that you focus on that, not on what might have been. Land has been sighted, and Godzilla has not. Let's all savor this moment. Sherlock's right. We've all earned some surely before we initiate phase 2 of the plan. We can't assume it's the last we've seen of Godzilla. So it's time to finish the preparations and fortifications of Paris, the crown jewel of Western civilization. Dunrick, the food is the cat's pajamas. If you think this is good, wait till we get to Paris. Hey, good food disagrees with me. You designed it. My team built it. Give it a fresh paint job. Ooh, this is laborious, an all-terrain vehicle. It can provide transport through land, sea, and air. I can't say I like the name. How did you discern the name of the beast? I didn't invent the name. You did. It's in your journal. There, see? Oui, yes, I attempted a magnificent designation. God Z 111A. Godzilla. Paris. La Parifique. So this is Paris in the 20th century. I've lived long enough to see my worst fear realized. The sea mess inventions used for destruction. Televi. Moon vehicles designed for exploration. Instead of carrying explorers, they carry explosive. L'Arc de Triumpha. And that's right. Spin it! Look at Godzilla! Wow. Like, up! Light it up! We replaced the Seine River with jellied gasoline. You're gonna die in Paris, Godzilla. There are worse ways to go, I suppose. It's all wired and ready to go. Get out and get you and your team out of there. And Reich, move. Hey, that is loosely based off of an early attempt at a parachute suit that someone tried to use jumping off the Eiffel Tower. It didn't work for him. But using it here makes sense. Oh, yeah. Give it the juice. Now, look at Godzilla. Oh, Bonnie Noop, Monsieur Verne. Verne is gone now. All this death and destruction for nothing. He was my hero. It was different last time. The details, the little particulars were different the last time all this happened. But still the same outcome. You've read the ending to this farce. You have all the answers. So tell us, what comes next? There was one thing we didn't try. One thing that was unsinkable. Dracula. It is a pleasure to finally make your acquaintance, Mr. Gatsby. Your fiasco in Paris has made you somewhat infamous. I know something of infamy myself. Where government and social institutions fail, we do what we can. You seem to have a supernatural ability to predict when and where Godzilla will strike. We have certain proprietary resources that have proven effective. Enchante, mademoiselle. I believe the monster Godzilla is fundamentally misunderstood. It is not a scourge, nor a pestilence. Wouldn't you agree, Miss Daisy Buchanan? And no, I don't agree. Forgive me, but surely you could see that Godzilla is a source of great power. If it can be controlled, brought to submission, imagine what can be done. He who can control Godzilla controls the world. My family's hunts are legendary. I come from a long line of beastmasters. This beast is no different. I will bring Godzilla under my thrall, and it will do my bidding. Those are big words, Count. Let's work and let's get to work. I never thought of a time machine was possible, even in my wildest dreams. Seems like a childish fantasy. Well, you helped me get it up and running again. Oh, and all right, let's test her out. Start with a slight acceleration. Oh no! What is it? No! It's the time traveler. He's gone. I believe we have a saboteur among us. Egypt, the Nile River. Wherever and whenever and wherever Godzilla surfaces, we rush to the scene. Giza, we're always a step behind. Greece, the Parthenon, English Channel, Paris, Gibraltar, London, disappeared into the Black Sea. Greece, Egypt. Oh, there you are. A word or two, my good man. Won't take but a moment. Something I've been meaning to ask you. I'm familiar with your strange case. A man stood trial for your murder. Yet here you are. Yes, the infamous Professor Van Helsing. He wanted me in the ground. He missed my heart. He grazed it, sent me into a state of shock. I eventually recovered. A lackluster physician. His knowledge of anatomy was not so great. Ooh! Oh no!
Oh boy!
You know too much. Come, my dear. Sherlock! Daisy! Daisy! Gone. We need to put aside our differences. For Daisy. For Daisy. Can you believe they changed the name of my country while I was gone? Ow! Can you see it there in the distance, my dear? I can't. Up from the depths of the Black Sea. Transylvania welcomes you. How was that?
Oh!
And we're on the last issue already.
Mm-hmm.
The pyramids. What a mess. It was the beast called Godzilla. The pyramids are in utter ruin. The Sphinx is practically obliterated. Roar! The curse of the pharaoh and Utma and Utep says that whoever disturbs his tomb will be pursued to death and beyond. He's walking right past us. Of course, we didn't disturb the tomb. Godzilla did!
Oh!
The mummy is only focused on Godzilla!
Oh, that's some amazing logic there.
We've heard the stories of vampires, werewolves, ghouls, and ghosts. Now there's a new monster terrorizing the land. A giant. Ow! Of the werewolves. Welcome to your new home. You'll find we have all the creature comforts. What's the matter? Ah, yes. Don't worry, my dear. I have not bitten you yet. I want to savor this moment, the exciting uncertainty before the romance is consummated. I am no Don Juan. I wish to make you my bride, and I take marriage very seriously. All of my marriages, when a Dracula marries, it is for all eternity. But I'm already married. The laws are different where I come from. You swore an oath before God. You was there before a different God. It's all the fault of this Godzilla. Where did that confounded creature come from? Anyway, who can say? There are legends about the origin of East Egg and West Egg. Rumors that there were giant eggs discovered by the ancient people of New York. Full speed to Castle Dracula. How can you be so sure she's there? There's a tracker on Daisy. What? There's a tracker on every member of the crew. A radioactive isotope we ejected as part of the inoculation administered during the ship's doctor physical. Oh, Sherlock, don't cry for me. Holmes, you died. I've escaped death before, my dear Watson. This is no different. What are you? And somebody's in trouble.
Death even when the author wanted to kill him.
Yep. Open the door. I have no time for this. My master calls me home. We need a doctor. I am the doctor. The bandages are in the cabinet. I'm so sorry. This is life with Sherlock. Before he died, he gave me this dossier of the weird compiled by Sherlock Holmes. I suspect Count Dracula suffers from a rare complaint often reported as vampirism. I've compiled several clippings of this dossier. Dr. Von Helsing on trial for the murder of Count Dracula and his cousins. Dateline Germany. Dr. Frankenstein missing after mysterious death of his young bride on the night of their wedding. Pay careful attention to the articles about Dr. Von Helsing, his trial for murder, and specifically his obsessive ravings about Dracula and how he killed him. Perhaps there is some practical wisdom to be gleaned from all this. Lycanthropy, the irrational belief that one is a wolf. Ancient Egypt, Egyptian death rituals revealed a new discovery. Sometimes death isn't final. It can be the beginning of a long, troubled journey. Boom! Boom! According to the maps, we're flying over a war zone. We're getting close to Transylvania, but Greece and Turkey are at war, and we're caught in the crossfire. Brace for impact! The Baltic Sea, converting to boat mode. Jules Verne thought of everything. We're out of the war zone. You could have fooled me. Ajutai ma! Godzilla! The new international greeting. Godzilla really made a mess of things out here. Convert to land crawler mode. Tell those people to get away. Those aren't people, it's a pack of wolves. Whatever they are, they're keeping pace with us. Uh-oh, we're stuck. The engine's jammed. Uh-oh. Everyone, take one. Bang, bang, bang. Guns don't work. The time machinist would know about what to do. Or Sherlock. Check his notes. Silver. We could throw the flatware at them. I've got another idea. American. Is it that obvious? Excuse the mess. Godzilla just passed through. I was supposed to meet somebody here, but I've been delayed. There's a peculiar gentleman over there. He's been here a while. Baron von Frankenstein. Guten Tag, Herr Gatsby. I wasn't sure you got to my message. I've heard about your troubles. It's difficult getting people to join in a monster hunt. People want to believe monsters don't exist. They think it helps them sleep at night. But we know better, don't we? It fills your dreams with dark demons that pursue you to death and beyond. Join me outside. I brought this with me. My great-grandfather's creation. Oh boy, look at that!
Ooh, wow, that's dynamic.
So I guess this is Dracula's castle. Get the mazer out. This door is one tough constable. Monstrum upsilon. And destroy. Let's split up. Daisy, Jay. What? I'm just checking. You know what? I don't even care if you are a vampire. You can make me one too. Tom? See here, old sport. What's the meaning of all this? What's the meaning of all this? I love your wife and she loves me. Uh-oh! I'm back and not a moment too soon. Rebirth of the Time Machinest. Freeze! I'm here at great personal and cosmic cost. It's been a long time, from my point of view at least. It's you! Here, take these. Oh, look! Ritz steaks!
Yeah!
Boom, boom. Trying to hypnotize him, but as we know, that don't work on Godzilla.
Yep.
Boss. And what did we miss? Perhaps Godzilla is unbreakable, but you are not. Kneel before your master. Your enemies are my enemies are your enemies. Rook whore! You did this to me. You tampered with my time machine. I was trapped in a time stream for decades, but now I know exactly how to deal with you. I'm not the one who tampered with your machine. Your machine. I am your friend. You are my friend. Your only friend. My only friend. Do you have a gift for me? Take this. It's a square Rube and cube ring. Point it at something and it grows. Grow. This ring gives me the power I've been looking for. I believe in destiny, that the power of time can be altered for a single purpose. You can't succeed, Dracula. We're here to stop you. If we die here, and Daisy, just know that I'll always love you. I've been waiting so long to hear that, Jay. Grrr. The dead travels fast. Yes, stay back. I'm not afraid to use this. I don't want to be here. I don't like any of this, but somehow I can't leave. We're under his power. It's terrifying to be controlled by an outside mind. And fight! Resist his control! Godzilla did! Go back to whatever hole you crawled out of! Ow! Throw! Roar! Fight the great beast Godzilla! Your master, the great beast Godzilla! Your master commands you! Roar! I am the only one who understands your struggle. Now listen. Go! Grow! Grow to maximum size! Go force to fight! Oh, first like Godzilla! Tail whip Frankenstein first! Woo! And then... Roar! Now it is my turn to be great and terrible. It doesn't work that way. Someone else has to pour it at you. Would you make me the most powerful man on earth? No, I mean, I can't think. This isn't fair. I hate you. Oh, look! Ah! Back! Back, I say! Like, any last words, my dear Gatsby? I'm sorry, old sport. I never have I been so hard pressed by an opponent. Oh, Holmes, to see it end this way. I fear this will give pains to my friends, especially you, my dear Watson. No possible conclusion could be more congenial to me than this. Whoop. If we get out of this alive, and that's what's waiting. I don't have a dog in that fight. They can all go to the devil. Come on, Daisy, we need your help. I'm with them now. I wish it weren't true, but that's how it is. And dearest, point the ring at me. Make me larger. Push the ring to its limits. Make me a monster such as this earth has never seen. Yes, don't do it. Say it. Say the word. I'm sorry, Jay. I can't fight anymore. I have to say it. If you have to say it to me. Grow. Like a colossus, he rided up, towering over the valley. He has truly become the Great Gatsby. Oh, look at what Godzilla does. He throws Dracula into the sun. Or into orbit, and the sun finishes him off. Godzilla versus the Great Gatsby. Giant man versus giant lizard. Is this the man you want? Jay, what have you become? He is only what you made him. If this fight destroys us all, remember your role in getting us here. We're well past the point of no return. Fight, Jay. I believe in you. Their fight is going to destroy everything. Godzilla's charging up for a blast. Evacuate the castle. There's no time. And Jay, it's me. Where are you going? He's blocking Godzilla's fire with his body. He's shielding us. That's gotta hurt. Now he's trying to shut Godzilla's mouth while the death ray's still firing. Oh, look at that.
Oh,
Jay, no. Who's there? Jay, you're alive. The Time Machinist wasn't found in the wreckage of Castle Dracula. Maybe he's dead. Maybe he went back to his enigmatic work somewhere in the time stream. Godzilla went east into the rising sun. No telling where it'll end up. Odessa! We know where he's going. Yep, here I am, back home with the love of my life. I haven't been in the pool all summer. There's a brave new era dawning, an era of uninterrupted prosperity. I see the whole happy century ahead and how it plays out. Let's swim. Wish I could. The 30s will be a time of joy. We're leaving East Egg, Tom and I. I love you, Jay. But Tom and my life, it's just so, I don't know. The 40s will be full of peace and kindness. Be sure to write. The 50s will know only freedom and love of one's neighbor. Not going to stay for a swim? It's a little cold for that. The 60s will be our golden age of comfort and stability, dotting on our grandchildren's perhaps. He must have felt that, and that he had lost the old warm world, paid a high price for living too long with a single dream. He must have looked up at an unfamiliar sky through frightened leaves and shivered as he found out what a grotesque thing a rose is and how raw the sunlight was upon the scarcely created grass. The end.
Well, that was certainly something.
Yep. So, yeah, what did you think about that overall?
I thought that was just a lot of fun. Like, giving basically the whole comic book extended universe treatment to a bunch of classical literature. It's a fun concept, and I'm glad to see they made the most of it.
But if anybody, Gatsby is the real hero, not Godzilla. But yeah, although again, it is disjointed.
Yeah, it's kind of all over the place, but I feel like that's more of a feature rather than a bug.
Yeah, what did you think about Dracula at the end? Not faithful to the book, of course.
It's not necessarily faithful to the letter, but I feel like it's a lot closer to the spirit of Dracula than a lot of other adaptations I've seen, because they sort of focus a lot, end up getting lost and trying to, like...
They go for the romance too much.
Yeah, they go for the romance too much when Dracula's a conniving guy who wants to start taking over the world by getting real estate in London, essentially. And it ends up cutting out the actually good romance in the book that exists between Jonathan and Mina.
Yep, and besides, let's be honest, this thing's like something Dracula would do if Godzilla was around. He would try to take over control.
Yeah! So it's like, somehow this manages to end up being a more faithful adaptation of, like, the spirit of Dracula than a lot of other stuff that are actually trying to adapt Dracula, and I find that both funny and sad at the same time.
And Godzilla versus, let's be honest, the Universal monsters.
Yep!
Although, was there any flaws you have besides the disjointedness?
I can't really think of anything that particularly stands out to me. I think we just need to remember that sometimes comics are good for having fun.
I will say, though, Daisy felt a little flaky. Like
okay, now that you mentioned that, she did feel like she should have had a little bit more of a character for apparently being the inciting incident of this whole thing. It's like...
I mean, the middle she did. In the middle she did. Being a bit more like, I'm coming with you. But then once she's trapped and everything, at the end, she just can't leave Tom. Now, if it was implied with what I say here, when Tom was saying, you led us to it, then that'd be one thing, but it doesn't seem to imply that. It just feels like, despite all of this, beside her pushing her, beside her realizing she truly does love Jay still, she just can't break away. It's like, what, now the thread is over, you're just reverting back?
Yeah, it is a little disappointing. Still, I'd give it a solid 8 out of 10. It's really interesting.
It is, and this moment here!
Oh yeah, I didn't see that coming, but it ends up making a lot of sense. It's also funny to see Dracula's scheming backfire on him like that.
Yep,
I mean,
Godzilla versus the Great Gatsby, just... What do you think about how he stopped him by sealing his mouth?
I mean, that kind of makes the most logical sense. If you want to stop something that's shooting something, you close the thing that will shoot the thing.
And you can believe it's a magic ring, so, but that's the one thing though, like, where did the ring come from?
Yeah, that word was kind of just left hanging there.
I gotta say, you know what this feels like? This feels like a kid making up as he goes. Doesn't it?
I mean, yeah, I can imagine a kid that's just kind of like read a whole lot of classical literature and
then watch Godzilla.
Yeah, and then just basically action figures out the whole thing.
Which is
that's not a bad thing.
That is the one thing Tom Scully is great at. Because remember when we did American Barbarian and Transformers vs. G.I. Joe, they all had that feeling of take all these toys and just
it's
slam them together.
It's like, he's not afraid to have a little fun with the concepts, and sometimes it's really easy to get, like, too tight a grip on some things that you just forget to do anything creative with it anymore.
So you could look at the ring coming out of nowhere as being that's what the kid was just like, oh, and then he has a ring that can make him giant! That's how you can look at it that way, right? Like,
it's just like, Time Machine guy, I'm sure he'd have a lot of weird gadgets.
Exactly. So I can accept that. Like I said, Daisy is probably the one to the fact. I mean, I get it. The end is trying to keep true to. It didn't want to override what Great Gatsby was about, except for Jay surviving at least.
Yeah.
But I do like it ending on him in the pool, just like in the book. I do like that. That felt interesting, but again, throughout all of this, it was just bombastic. It's probably the best word to explain it. Wouldn't you say? Bombastic?
Yeah, that is a really good word for it.
Yeah, and poor Sherlock Holmes. Oh, what do you think about the fact that? What do you think about the fact that this is technically also a what if Dracula lived and now what if? Well, first of all, wait a minute. Van Helsing wasn't the one who struck at him. It was oh, what's his name? The guy with the Bowie knife. Hold on.
You're asking who ended up being the one to kill Dracula in the original novel?
Quincy.
Yes, the guy who was basically the stereotypical American and one of the funniest things about the book.
Yeah, but Quincy was the one who stabbed him, not Van Helsing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that one's
That's annoying. But I mean, I get it because more people know Van Helsing.
Yeah, more people know about Van Helsing, but Quincy is an absolute legend and he deserves to be known as such.
By the way, in the Audible version of Dracula, you know who voices Van Helsing?
Ooh.
Tim Curry.
Oh!
Yep. And they had to have multiple actors doing it. But Audible Dracula cast. It's one yeah, Tim Curry is that. You have but yeah, he's probably the biggest name of them out of all of them. But but yeah, it's just like Tim Curry as Van Helsing. That's perfect. But yeah, like I said, just overall though, this was fun.
Fun, and sometimes it doesn't need to be much more than that.
Yep. So thank you for joining me in this one, Ingrid. Thanks everyone else. And we'll see you guys all on. Wait, I just forgot the artwork. What did you think about the overall artwork?
I really enjoyed it. Sometimes the kind of color scheme from the era of these can kind of grate on me a little bit, depending on which ones they pick, but I found this one really satisfying all the way through.
And the simplicity of it.
Yeah, it's like, it doesn't overstay its welcome.
Exactly. And for 3 issues, for 3 oversized issues, that's good. And you could tell what everything is. It's not like you're looking, you're like, what's that? What's that? Even though it does get a little muddy, somehow the muddiest works.
Yeah.
Although, I will say the only thing that bothers me is the googly eyes for Godzilla.
Ah, yeah.
It's like, you look like a Muppet.
I honestly think that helps add to the charm factor, though. It's like a sort of implicit reminder of, don't take this too seriously now.
True, but look, that's the most Muppet look, isn't it? Like, woo, woo,
yeah.
Woo.
Although now I'm actually wanting a Muppets and Godzilla crossover. I think that could be fun.
Yep. Okay, now this actually looks pretty good right there. That one at the bottom.
Yeah.
That actually looks menacing in its own way. But yeah, so yeah, thank you all for joining. Thank you, Ingrid, for joining me, and we'll see you all in the next one. Take care.